What's up, Sushi Squad? We are back again for some more Hytale news. It has been a very long time, hasn't it? How are you? Those of you that don't know what Hytale is, basically, you know Hypixel, the famous modded Minecraft server, and they also made like Herobrine's mansion map and so on and so forth. Basically, these guys are insane modders on Minecraft, and they just randomly decided one day that they wanted to make their own unique video game, which is shaping up to be an open world voxel game. It's basically the Hypixel server, but imagine that as its own game. So it's got Minecraft elements of the open adventure world, but also isn't like held back by the fact that they're using the old game engine and Java and everything. Essentially, everybody's calling Hytale Minecraft 2. And I would argue that it is very, very weird that in this gaming industry, with how popular Minecraft has stayed over the years, we've only ever gotten really jank clones. We've never really had a game that's surpassed Minecraft. And I think that Hytale could possibly end up doing that. However, there is a little bit of concern, because originally they had this big old trailer come out, everyone got really hyped about it, and then they had blogs that were talking about beta and then slowly making excuses why there was no beta, and over time they just kind of ended up going dark, and slowly as they ended up making posts, they felt less and less relevant. So I'm hoping that we actually hear some news about the development of Hytale in today's video. But if I had to guess, I'm gonna guess that they're just gonna show us a little bit and they're not really gonna say anything, just because that's kind of what Hytale has been doing lately. Now, that said, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk or anything like that. Obviously, the game's going to take as long as it takes to develop. And as Shigeru Miyamoto has once said, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is bad forever, which perfectly summarizes the gaming industry right now, with all of these games just coming out and feeling like they're absolutely rushed and terrible. So anyways, with that little bit of history behind us, let's get into it.
Writers come up with amazing ideas, sometimes crazy ideas. I wish we can do them all. But, you know, we can't focus on everything. And then sometimes we realize we're not necessarily the best studio to make these games. And that's kind of how I felt when I met Noxy and the team at Hypixel. They came up with a demo of Hytale, and I right away saw that we had something special. It was both familiar but also different. Different because it's a different game. It's a different genre than what we're used to. But familiar in the way they talk about the community, the way they're willing to challenge conventions, their dedication to one game, and their commitment to make it better and better for years to come. That sounded very familiar to us, very Riot. And that's why we decided to partner with them and eventually have them join our family.
So I hate to sound mean. I've noticed this consensus being thrown around a lot with Hytale. It kind of feels like they're trying to reassure us, the viewer or the fans, that, you know, this game is in good hands. But this is literally Hypixel's first ever game. So I don't know what he's talking about continued development. Like, are they talking about the Hypixel server? Because that's very, very different than a full video game.
I want you to know all about this, but I'm not the best person for this. So let me invite my friend Noxy to tell you about this journey.
Oh, we finally get to see some gameplay. That's the real bottom line. That's all that we actually want to see, is just gameplay and hear this sweet, sweet tunes. Oh God, look at it. It's beautiful. Please give us a release date or a beta in this video. Like, I swear to God. It looks so much more functional than last time.
Is a story of a collective of Minecraft modders who shared a dream of going pro and having their own game someday. Hypixel was very much driven in its ambition by the challenges that we faced as modders. So when we made the game, we knew that we were making the game for modders like ourselves.
Damn, dude.
Since the announcement of the game and all the attention that we received afterwards, we started the process of making some pretty big changes on our path in order to ensure that we're going to meet our commitment to the players and realize their dream of what the game can be. It's pretty remarkable when you announce a trailer for the first time, and you know, before the game is even out, you're getting fan art, you're getting tattoos, you're getting cosplays and props, subreddits are developing, and the community is just showing you so much love. It's a lot of pressure as well. So we knew that we started to need some help, and then entering into a partnership with Riot just eventually logically made sense. League came from Dota, which was on Warcraft 3. And so Hytale has come from Hypixel, the server, which was on Minecraft. And so that story is pretty unusual in the industry. And so we felt like there was a lot of lessons that we could maybe learn and advice that we could get for that journey. And so we met them way before the trailer was announced. And even back then, before we had proven that the audience was interested, Riot was interested, they supported us with advice and investment when we first established Hypixel Studios, and later when we became part of Riot Games in 2020. So that's enough of the context. Here to tell you more about the game itself is Sean McCafferty, our COO.
So once again, kind of just seems like they're on damage control, because generally, I just keep seeing stuff like this where they just keep talking about why they partnered with Riot and everything. And I'm assuming, I could be wrong about this, but I'm assuming that it's because of all of the negative aspects that we've heard more recently in gaming outlets about Riot Games. You know, how they've had like employees quitting and, don't treat their employees well and all that stuff. That's what I assume is going on here. I don't really keep up with any of that stuff. I mean, frankly speaking, if the game's good, I'm going to buy it regardless. So I don't really care too much about all the politics behind it or like not supporting a company. So excuse me if I'm a little bit wrong and out of the loop with that. It just kind of feels more to me like they're trying to justify why they partnered with Riot and League rather than just getting on with it. I don't know. I'm sorry for being overly critical. Oh god, it looks good though, doesn't it?
In Hytale, you create an avatar and set out to leave your mark on an immersive fantasy world. As an avatar, you have the power to reshape yourself and the world. We want to make expressing your creativity feel like magic, and to take everything we love about the block game genre and combine it with our favourite parts of classic fantasy RPGs.
My boy is wearing a Mandalore shirt, by the way. Just want to say how epic he is.
You'll go on adventures in a world called Orbis. Here you have the freedom to craft,
look at that,
explore, and take on challenges with your friends.
Oh, the combat looks so much tighter.
Is to build a world that feels immersive and inviting no matter what you choose to do.
Oh my god. So sorry for pausing so much, guys, but it's a reaction video, so this is the point here. I'll put, there'll be a link so you could watch the actual video yourselves. But the combat and stuff, like, I've kept up with the blogs, and this combat is looking a lot tighter than what we saw before. Like, it's looking like a lot more complete.
You'll have the opportunity to compete and express yourself through minigames and other forms of social play. No matter what you and your friends are up to, we want to make sure that you'll be able to come together, hang out, share experiences, and establish your own identity.
Just give me the open world exploration. Okay, they actually confirmed PvP. This is a big deal because they kept talking about PvP in their blog posts, but they never actually like shared it. And these abilities look insane. Did you see the dagger guy like jumping around, and then the guy with the hammer actually like body blocking him and pushing him? Oh my god. I'm sorry for freaking out, but that's a huge deal because they, like, legit, they kept talking about how they weren't sure whether they wanted to really work on adding PvP to the game, and this was, like, just a shadow reveal. Like, that's so hype. That means that the game has a lot more structure than they're leading it on to be.
Underpinning all of this is a set of tools that are intended to help creators undertake the same sort of journey that we have. These range from advanced block building tools to an in-game modding interface that lets you reconfigure gameplay.
Jesus. On the fly.
We empower you to create everything from new creatures to whole new game modes.
So this, sorry again, guys, I feel like a jerk that I just keep pausing it. This, I feel, is the reason why Hytale is taking so long, because rather than them releasing the base game that they've developed for us and then slowly adding the modding tools later, I feel like what they're prioritizing is getting all these modding tools ready day one, which is good and bad. Personally, I feel that they should just have the game come out and then slowly give us more and more modding tools as it becomes more stable, just because obviously, like, when the game comes out, it's gonna have issues no matter what they end up doing with it. So anyways,
our goal with these tools is to both empower the existing modding community and clear the way for a generation of new creators. We want to pave the way from creative play, expressing yourself with all the freedom the blogs provide, all the way to Creative Pro, making mods and sharing them with the community.
Now, that said, obviously, you know, having that game engine in place for modders is insane because it means infinite content. and something that's a little more easy to manage than, oh my lord, than sorry. It was a bit overwhelming here. It means that having all the mod systems in place and being something that's easier to mod than Java and Minecraft. So we got like a weird goblin guy over his treasure. Looks absolutely beautiful. I love the music, by the way. That dude doing a ground stomp attack, which I love his armor and his weapon. This dungeon in particular, they made a blog post about this dungeon a long time ago. So this is supposed to be just a random generated dungeon out in the world, which, I mean, obviously I love it. Same with this one as well. We ended up seeing this years back already. So I guess they're just kind of showing that it's actually in game.
Ambitious game. But with Riot's support and some of the resources that we've been able to unlock, we now feel like we're moving in the correct direction to meet that ambition. We've been able to expand our team. We're hiring, developers that I used to grow up playing their games. We've been able to set up our own office instead of being 100% remote. We now get supported by the office. We're hugely grateful for the support of our community and especially a lot of the fan artists. So we've decorated the walls of the office with that fan art. But most of all, we're confident now that the direction that we're being unlocked to move in is the direction that the community deserves Hytale to be. A game like this isn't something that you can sit down and write on a piece of paper and say, oh, we think this is a really great strategic opportunity as a studio. A game like this is a game that has to evolve a genre and move a community as a whole. And so we want to bring our Hypixel community into Hytale. We want to invite the wider games community, the Riot community, a lot of different groups to come and experience this game with us. We made this game because we felt like this is what we wanted to make in our heart. And that's what Riot, I think, recognized, and that's why we partnered, is, coming from the heart is how you make games that will move players.
Well, I'm resold again. Like, it gets really difficult and blurs the lines a lot, I think, when you see all these games coming out that are just a cash grab. So it's really humbling to actually see a dude like this that is just passionate about making a video game. And yeah, either way, I'm excited for the title, obviously. Cannot wait for it. But I'm kind of at the point where it's like, when it comes out, and I'm not like in either camp. I'm not like super duper hype where I'm like, oh my God, give it to me now. And I'm not like looking at it negatively. I just tend to I tend to be very critical. It's just the type of person that I am, especially when you see empty promises, because I kind of like to set... I think the reason I'm so critical myself is because I'm trying to bring the standard down so I don't get disappointed and overly hyped, which I think is something that just happens when you end up getting older. Your eyes go from wonder to, maybe not, but either way, looking fantastic. Loving the main dev there. He actually seems really dope. I'm liking all the co-op stuff that they keep showing. And then also right here, I caught this, where this character, keep an eye on it.
Come and experience this game with us.
So she grabs the ledge to like vault over. So that already is just showing me that they've got like, they seem to have really, really nice game mechanics in here. And I can't wait for this game, dude. And I really hope that we end up getting a beta sometime in 2022, because I think that the last time that they ended up talking about a release date, which is not very common, they'd said something about like the games at its earliest would be 2023. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it would be in 2023. It just means that that would be the absolute earliest if everything goes right. Based on what he's saying, though, it seems like they have the direction of the company like actually a little bit more refined now, because in their recent blog post, they were basically talking about how they didn't really have a leader, because being an indie team, they're not used to having like I guess, I don't know, like an actual deadline and everything. Not to say that this game has a deadline per se, but I think that as an indie studio, and more so as a studio that has never made a full game before, they didn't really have that direction, which it's good to hear that they have it now, because it means that they can start making some serious strides towards the game's completion. And it looks like they've done so, because this is a much, much tighter version than I've seen in their previous posts. And I cannot wait for this title. Anyways, thanks for watching, gamers. Really appreciate it and hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.